But I saw two people doing some training. And the guys that train for marathons, half marathons, and all the guys that run and stuff, they can appreciate this. I saw a guy running in the downpouring rain, and I saw a cyclist running in the downpouring rain. For me, I was like, oh, that's awesome. But I know most parents and most people go look at those guys and go, they're nuts. Because I used to think that. I used to think they're absolute nuts to be out there. And I thought to myself, well, what is it about those people that make them want to do what they do? It's all about focus. What they focus on is what they make their reality. So these people make it very important to them for them to go ahead and be fit and be able to go ahead and continue their lives in the manner that they want to live them. And that is basically success. Success is being successful or achieving what you want to achieve. It could be being the best teacher in the world, it could be the best lawyer in the world, best doctor in the world, best mom in the world. And that's success to a person or to success to that person. And the reason I say this is because in the last 3 years, some of you guys that have followed me on Facebook before and what have you, have seen that I kind of dropped off the world as far as working out. I had gone to the point 3 years ago where I was up to the Ultra Beast, which is like 36 miles, and up through mountains and stuff like that. And then my life changed. I mean, it completely changed. And so what I did is I made excuses. I had the excuse of, oh, I just moved. Oh, I just got into a new relationship. Oh, my kids are growing up right now and I got to help them out a little bit more. I said, oh no, my training partner moved. I had a training partner that was awesome and we used to do CrossFit together. And he moved. He was my guy that was one of my inspirations. And then Instructor Prita left too. And then I was like, well, there's no reason to work out anymore. But what it was is that I lost focus of what I wanted to accomplish. Was to be an excellent example physically and mentally for the students. That was my goal, and I had lost complete focus. So I looked at it and went, okay. And so just like that, and I know Mr. Caper's been following now. I started doing it again. I just gave myself no excuses anymore. And I know Mr. Ganold over here is seeing the same thing as well. And he's finally seen me working out again as we started our new Saver program as well. But I want to do a quick experiment with you guys. Just everybody close your eyes. Well, actually not close your eyes. Look around the room right now and see anything that is red. Anything that is red. You got about 10 seconds. Just keep looking around. See anything that's red. Everybody, the kids as well, adults. Okay? And now, close your eyes right now and tell me everything that's blue. Oh! Now it's a little bit hard. Okay, open your eyes back again. So I did a little switch on you guys because you were focused on one particular thing and I asked you something completely different. So what we focus on actually flows to us. What does that mean? That means that if I focus on things that are good, more positive things will happen. If I focus on things that are bad, or I think about things that could be worse in the world, I can be depressed. I mean, it's really that easy. I mean, if I really, really want to think about how depressed I can get, all we have to think about are the hungry children in the world. We can think about the people that are about to die. We can think about anything really bad in our lives, and boom, we're depressed. But imagine what? You can actually change that to something good. We can actually be up. We can actually be happy in an instant. And how do you do that? By focusing on something good. By focusing on the things that we want to accomplish and how everything is possible. And that's what this black belt exam is about. And here's something interesting. So I was looking and I was trying to find out, because I always try to find out somebody that I want to talk about. I've talked about different boxers, I've talked about different heroes in life and what have you. And tell me if you guys know this story. I've got two stories for you guys. One, we've got this girl that was born from a teenage mom. Teenage mom was African American and the mom was 13 years old. Oh my goodness, and you're thinking, oh my goodness, this kid's not gonna have a really good life. Well, this kid grows up, or not really grows up, actually becomes a teen mom as well, but her child is stillborn at 13. Oh my goodness, so you think to yourself, you think this is gonna be a positive story or kind of a negative story? Right now, it sounds like a negative story. I know, it sounds really bad. And then, over the time, and then after that, she grew up in the projects, and she grew up in places that nobody would be able to do anything. And does anybody know who I'm talking about right now?
Oprah?
Oprah Winfrey! She's one of the most successful entrepreneurs out there that turned it around. Because she focused on the right things. She already knew that she could change your life in an instant. For you guys, you're changing your lives one step at a time, but you guys got to know that if you keep focusing on that goal, which is black belt, you can achieve it. It's a matter of continuing that step along the way. But continuing that focus will allow you to achieve that goal. At any point, Oprah could have said, my life sucks. You know, what am I going to do? I'm just going to go ahead and sit down in a corner and cry. Anybody can do that. But what she did, she changed it around. Let me give you another story, one more story here. And it's just something to contrast it with. This guy is born into a family. The family is, of course, not financially set. And so this kid is growing up, and then he finds he's a little bit confused after meeting his fourth dad. He's kind of like, I don't know what to think about this stuff. And what he found is that his parents would always argue about money. So in his mind, he thought, okay, well, all I got to do is make money, and my parents will be fine, or I'll be fine. He got thrown out at 16 years old. Does it sound like a positive story or negative story? Negative. Negative story. He gets thrown out in the street during Christmas, out in the streets. And so he has to fend for himself. He eventually gets a job at a bank. They work at night. He works at night and then goes back to school in the morning. So he takes the bus and what have you. So it sounds like a positive story or a negative story?
Getting better.
What's that?
Getting better.
What's that say? What's that, man?
It's getting better.
It's getting better. It's getting better because he's actually working now. He's actually working. He's trying to make a living for himself. And then he finds out that he can actually change the way his life is by thinking it, by the mere thought of thinking it. And then he gets a little bit of more and more examples from great speakers like Jim Rohn, and he thinks to himself, okay, I can do this. I can be successful. And he became Wonder Boy. Who knows what I'm talking about? Who knows who I'm talking about right now?
Anthony
Nobody?
Robbins?
No?
Anthony Robbins?
Yes, ma'am! That's it! You knew both answers. Oh, my goodness. Okay, it was Anthony Robbins. And he is a multi-millionaire right now because of one thing. Not because he's just making money, but because he's affecting other people's lives. For the better. Because what he had one Christmas is that he couldn't do it. He couldn't eat. It was bad for everybody. And he wanted to see one person have a better life. So apparently one time, just so you guys know, is he went ahead and paid for, because all he could afford was 2 meals for Thanksgiving. And so what he did is he went ahead and paid for 2 meals for Thanksgiving for these 2 families. And he wanted to make sure that they didn't know at all who gave it to him at all. But what he did is he was the delivery guy. So he brought this meal to this one family. They were a Spanish-speaking family. And he just comes in, and the grandma comes and opens up the door and breaks down. She goes, "It's an angel! You brought food to us. Now we can have a great Thanksgiving." And that made such an impact in his life that now he's looking to go ahead and feed at least 3 million kids. And all the proceeds of his book, his new book, is now going towards feeding those kids. And I'm like, oh. So it's about more than just what we can do for ourselves. It's about what we can do for other people. My goal here at King Tiger Martial Arts is not only just to go ahead and produce a black belt. It's to produce a leader that can go ahead and show everybody else how to help other people. And I was looking at the numbers. As far as what number I'm at as far as black belts, because I have to write out the certificates and what have you. And I was like, wow, we're only up to 160. And that's in 23 years. So my goal then is actually to expand the program to where you guys are the leaders and we're affecting thousands of people instead of just hundreds of people. Wouldn't that be a different life? Wouldn't that be a different life? I remember growing up, I used to go ahead and chase my dog out because she was in heat. She'd take off. And I'd be like, oh man, I gotta go chase that dog. Oh! I'd run out the door and the door was wide open. And guess what? Nobody would bug our house. Nobody would mess with our house. It was safe for us to go ahead and do that. I'd be back in an hour or 2 hours. The door's wide open and everything was fine. I can't leave the door now open for about 5 minutes before somebody is going to do something to me. I used to live in a Beaver Cleaver neighborhood. I don't know if you guys know where Salem Woods is. That's just Beaver Cleaver. That's as Beaver Cleaver as you can get. We had the garage door open one day, 5 minutes. Somebody stole a bike. I was like, no! But if everybody went through this type of program where they felt empowered to become the best they could be, I believe this could be the best community in the world. So you guys don't know this, but I took a challenge from Miss Lisa and Miss Bobby, and we're introducing King Tiger Martial Arts, not just King Tiger Martial Arts, but martial arts programs into Virginia Beach Public Schools this year. So I'm really pushing hard for that. We started Defeat the Bully Without Fighting, and that was slotted to get introduced 3 years ago, but now I'm back on fire again, and we're going to go ahead and push it so make sure to get all of Virginia Beach. I'm back on track now for this year, Virginia Beach, next year Chesapeake, next year after that maybe Norfolk, and then maybe all the state, which would be awesome, because now everybody would get the benefits that you see these kids get. So, what is it about? It's about keeping our focus to do one thing and one thing only, to help other people. Because in this life, what the impact we have on others determines how fulfilled we are with ourselves. So I hope that each and every one of these kids grow up to be leaders, because right now they just showed that they know some stuff. They know some stuff. So I want them to use that stuff that they know here to show other kids how to be better.
Thank you.
How to be better in the school, how to be better at home, and how to be better citizens. If I can do that one thing through martial arts because they think it's cool and they can learn cool moves, then I've done my job. Because I'll tell you what, it's a really hard place out there right now for kids, and I want to make sure that every kid grows up confident in themselves, that they can defend themselves, and they can stand up in front of people and talk. To be a leader in something. It doesn't matter if it's martial arts, it really doesn't. I've got a kid that graduated, he's a black belt, and now he's a lawyer. He's my lawyer, by the way. Okay. I've got another kid that's at VMI right now. I've got another kid that's working for Microsoft. I've got another kid right now at the U.S. Naval Academy. My alma mater. I was like, yeah! But I was like, oh my goodness, if I can keep doing that, but for more kids, on a bigger scale, that's really what I'm looking for right there. I'm looking to affect more kids in a positive manner to make sure that this explodes and makes it so it's accessible to everybody. Because everybody knows it's time for the parents. It's time for the parents to come here. It's time for the kids to practice. It's time for you. It's time invested, money invested to come here. Wouldn't it be nice if that was also accessible to everybody? That would be interesting. So that's the kind of world that I'm looking at now in the next 5 years. So I hope that you guys enjoyed the show, and I hope you guys see the benefits that the kids have gotten out of this, and because we're going to be talking a little bit about it as well. But I would like to thank each and every one of the parents for supporting the program, for being here and staying here countless hours watching your kids do what appears to be the same thing over and over again. It does, I know. It's like, oh, they're doing the same thing again. I guess I'll be here and I'll smile. But by the same token, as they do these moves and they do these techniques and they do the self-defense and they keep repeating it over and over again until they perfect it, they're perfecting their body and they're perfecting their mind, perfecting their focus. That's what I want for the kids. So thank you for supporting us in the program. Thank you to all the adults that actually take martial arts. I've got Rob Twine in the back. I've got Steve over there who's taken martial arts before. Rob, who actually was with me way back when, and then left, went to some other schools, and decided to come back. I was like, yes! And then brought his granddaughter. I was like, yes! I've got Lisa over here, who's one of our little ninjas instructors, and Miss Bobby, who's also taken martial arts before. Daniel Spigelski, who's now an adult over there. Thank you to all the staff for making all of this possible, because without it, nothing's possible. You have to have other people, and you have to have the support underneath. So thank you again to the parents for making this a reality for me and for the kids. Kids, thank you for your undying attention, even if we have to yell at you guys to get it. But thank you very much for sticking with it. It always follows that 80-20 rule, and the 80-20 rule typically is like, and let me see the hands of anybody that's right-handed. Right-handed. So it's at least 80% of the room. Okay, the hands right down. The 80-20 rule is just a bell curve. Usually there's about 80% in the middle, then there's 10% that fail, and then 10% that pass. Or in school, like that's what a bell curve is. And right now the bell curve is pushing towards